Thank you for tuning in to Koppen Comic. I'm Brian Koppen. We're with Comic Darrick J. Darrick J, how the hell are you?
I'm great, bro.
Good. I think you kind of broke up on that end. How's it going over there in Chicago?
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah,
Oh,
man, everything's good in Chicago. We're actually having like one of the best winters we've had in years.
Well, it's good to hear because I was there during over Christmas time and it was 8 degrees, Darrick J.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think we all had that cold spell. That cold spell went all the way down to Georgia, I believe. So
Ugh.
it was terrible.
But we follow him everywhere at Darrick J. Darrick J is Darrick J Comedy on Instagram, Darrick J Comedy on Facebook, but Derek Jones also has, that's your link tree right there, but Darrick 913 and it's Darrick on Twitter. Are you slinging the jokes on Twitter quite a bit, or do you kind of keep it mostly for the stage?
Actually, I really just keep my jokes for the stage. I just recently started posting videos and small things just to see how it works, but I'm more of a in the person, hands-on type of guy.
Okay, I mean, like the more you tweet, the more I retweet. Let me tell you, that's all my Twitter account is, man. All I do is I retweet the funny stuff of all my former comedians, and so all the comedians who've been on my show, and it's just like, you guys are so fucking funny, man. It's the most original Twitter feed because it's not just people chasing trends. Like each of you kind of have your own unique thing you're talking about, and your own unique viewpoint, and that's just what I love. So I'll be sure to retweet you at Darrick 913. But real quick, tell me about the shows because I think you host a couple shows. You run an open mic called Laughs, but I mean the odd thing is, and of course, it's Lakeview, which I love because I lived at Belmont Broadway for many years.
Oh, nice.
But like the unique thing is that this open mic Laughs, you've been doing it for 5 fucking years.
Oh yeah. It's called Laughs in Lakeview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been doing it. Actually, it's been more than 5 years now. It's been about since 2016.
Okay.
So yeah, I just had a premise back then because I'm from the South Side of Chicago.
Okay.
And my premise was to bring South Side comedy to the North Side because Chicago, as you know, is very segregated. You were just here in December, and I guarantee you didn't go to 35th Street.
I did not. And dude, this time I actually got, like, normally I do the thing where I get on the blue line at O'Hare. I go all the way on that fucking blue line, all the way down to Metro, and then I go down to some suburbia shit. But yeah, when I lived in Lakeview, I did not get to 35th Street too often. And I think one time I was there because a buddy of mine worked for like a millionaire, and so I was slapping fives with some millionaire watching a Sox game. Isn't that down at 35th?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only time. Look, that's the only time. And that's like, only for Sox games. And y'all got great security there in the hood over there in Bridgeport for those Sox games. I swear to God. But after that, after y'all leave, the security leaves.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like, I ran a marathon. Like, I didn't train for it, and I did pretty shitty. Like, I heard afterwards. But as I was running through the marathon, it was cool because you got to see all these neighborhoods. But I just remember, like, around Sox Stadium, it was just like a concrete fucking jungle. And so, yeah, man, you need to come up to us. And I can acknowledge that, people at Belmont Broadway, we need a little bit of Southside comedy. And so let me know what kind of Southside comedy works there. What kind of comics are you bringing comics up there, or are you finding that some Northsiders can still be funny?
Well, yeah, I mean, funny is funny anywhere.
Yeah.
As far as when I started back then, I wanted to have a place where people from the South Side that would not normally come to the North Side would come because I'm there. Okay. So, it makes them feel more comfortable. And then
there's gonna be one friendly face there, right?
Well, yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, is it safe here? Yeah, bro, it's safe.
Darrick J is right there. I feel safe. I can laugh.
Right.
You do need to feel safe to laugh, man. In the pyramid of the hierarchy of needs, I think Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm pretty sure safety is pretty far up there or down there, whatever's the important one.
Right. And then too, me as a comedian, because I'm from the South Side, I had to learn and experience what people on the North Side consider to be funny.
Okay.
Because it's a different form and topic talk topics of comedy that you have on the north side and south side.
Okay. And
And
what are you seeing those topics? What are some of the topics being on, if you're North Sider, what are you talking about versus what are South Siders typically talking about? Or at least what is Darrick J talking about?
well, I would say that coming from the south side, it'd be maybe a little bit darker, comedy, maybe a little bit poverty driven
Okay.
type of comedy, as far as not having this or not having that, just making jokes about your situation coming from the south side of Chicago. And then on the north side, it was more political and kind of like what they related to on the north side as being affluent, more jokes about bread and dying from bread or something like that. White people stuff.
There'd be too many carbs or
A lot of
something
people
like
are not
going.
gonna be talking about, I can't eat bread. No, that's not our topics, but it's just difference as far as our unique experiences as individuals.
But I like that because they moved beyond, they moved higher in the hierarchy of needs, and now it's more like we can care about, keto diets or
Right.
going carb free or caring about politics. Whereas
Right.
if you are not, if you are actually poverty stricken, of course not everybody is on the South side,
Right.
but if you're poverty stricken, like who the fuck cares who's in the White House, right?
Right. Right. And like on the north side, y'all have those jokes about just stores that we don't have in the hood, like Whole Foods and Mariano's and stuff back then, and good food eating. And on the south side, it's like, man, we got food, but not like healthy food.
Yeah.
All
Are
the
you
time.
are you able to contrast your stores down there with Whole Foods? Because I think that could be a good area to mine for comedy. Because like Whole Foods has all this deluxe shit, stuffed
Yeah.
olives and shit. Whereas there might be
Yeah.
a funny contrast down south.
Yeah, and like the joke that was going around back then was like the apples was like $6 an apple or something like that. And so that was the difference. And that was back then. So now what has happened is because of the intermingling. So I run open mic labs in Lakeview every Monday, 3162 North Clark Street, shameless plug. And now I have a group of Black people coming to the north side, intermingling with the white people that's already up there. And it's like I'm putting people together who wouldn't normally be together in the same room.
Okay. How's that working out?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
To hear each other out. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful because then Black people can test out their jokes in front of a white audience to see if it works.
Yeah.
And white people can test out their jokes in front of a Black audience because my room is highly mixed now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so is it true that Black audiences can be more interactive with comedians on stage? And how have you found the white comedians are responding to that, if that's true?
Yeah. As far as a Black audience, yeah. A Black audience, is just like going to the movies. We're going to be loud. We're going to go ooh and ah. And if you don't do good, we're going to just look at you and make you feel highly uncomfortable. While I find a white audience, it's like if comedians are doing good, y'all treat the comedian like he's a disabled kid or something like that. I'm like, oh, and y'all are encouraged. So it's all needed. It's all needed.
Yeah.
But white audiences, I will say, are easier to make laugh.
Okay.
And I'll say that they're easier because they see where you're trying to get to and what you're trying to do, and that's where they find the appreciation, I guess, more or less. But when a Black audience, I'll say you need to be there already.
Yeah. Okay. And so it's so funny that you would white audience might be a little bit more sympathetic or empathetic. They're like, we're pulling for you, man. And Black audience are like, nah, man, we're not pulling for the journey, man. Like I paid for this comedy to be funny now.
Right.
Not to see you trying to get there eventually 4 weeks from now. It's like I need it to be funny now.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's just basically what it is, but it's still all needed. It's all needed to make any comic or any person well-rounded because you can't be all of one and none of the other. that's
Wow. And so,
it's not going to be good.
a comedian's on your show, and if they can kind of get good at playing on your show, it's like they probably their material's probably ready to go anywhere, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had a bunch of comedians that I've started with. They're doing TV now. They're Netflix specials. They wrote for Conan and stuff. It's like it's good to see their journey,
Yeah.
my journey, and for me to be part of their journey as far as them creating themselves and finding themselves on stage as far as the art form, and then actually seeing it as they go out and just share it with the world.
And so as you've seen that journey of like, people who have gotten good in your room, on your show, going on to kick ass and, kick ass in comedy or, comedy on TV anyway. I don't know if they're kicking ass at life, but,
Mm-hmm.
like what has that kind of, taught you, like, in looking at what worked for them then and what didn't work for them then and what's working for them now, like, has it kind of have you treated your comedy any differently from any lessons you've observed from some of these people who've been successful in your room, who's been successful on your show and then on TV?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I I learned a lot from just doing comedy, but I learned even more from watching other people. And over the years, what I've came up with as far as my comedy is that all the answers I need come from within me,
Okay.
and stop looking outwardly for approval
Yeah.
and things of that nature. Just be more of yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
because on stage, the more of yourself you are, the more real, the more authentic, the better your comedy will be.
Yeah. Because people believe it. They
Yeah.
see, and I think, I don't know, somebody else talked about that. I forgot who it was, but one of the Chicago comedians I talked to over the last couple of weeks, they just talked about humanity, about audiences. If they can see your humanity, then they're
Yeah.
already kind of on your side. Whereas if you're just acting like a collection of fucking jokes, you're not even a person.
Right.
I'm not pulling for you at all. Like even the white audience ain't gonna be pulling for you there. And I think
No.
somebody back in the day, they've called it the forever fountain. Like once you discover what you is, like you have to
Hmm.
discover, what's funny coming out of your mouth, what interests you. Like,
Hmm.
you can tell a joke that a white guy next to you might not be able to tell. But
Right.
also like what's interesting to you and what's that part of your life that you can keep mining for laughs over and over again? And it might not be what you want to talk about, but it's probably what the audience wants to hear. So like what from your life, and you don't have to tell me any comedy, but just like what are the parts of your life? Like, is it family? Is it romantic relationships? Is it, your day job? Kind of what are you talking about on stage that the audience is like, yeah, I could listen to this for days?
Oh, like my best jokes is a joke about me and my daughter
Oh, good.
that I have. She's a disabled child. That's one of my best jokes
That's
that I
already
came up with.
interesting. That's already interesting, right? Like
Right.
I want to hear about that kind of unique experience. And so
Yeah.
like so you kind of, you found that is just unique and people want to listen to that. Like what else are you like, is there certain things that you talk about from your life that people are like, nah, that's not interesting to me? Like you talking about your day job or something? Have you found that, you talking about office life is not that interesting?
Oh, well, no, because when I talk about my job, I talk about a, a common ground that we all have is that we don't like it. Like I know, everybody that works, or a lot of people that work a 9 to 5, they don't like it, but they do it because it pays money.
Yeah.
So then I talk about the fact that I quit my job to start doing comedy. And
Oh,
then just that fact,
yeah.
keeps people interested. And then I
Yeah.
tell them the day that I quit, everything that happened that day, and they just go with it.
Wow. Because I mean, they're
Hmm.
seeing you you're kind of like reflecting on your own inflection point in your life, like where you
Yeah.
got so I don't know, so excited about comedy, but also so fed up with the job, where it's like we could listen to that TikTok of your day from morning till night, and it would be
Hmm.
fast. It would be fascinating, right?
Yeah. 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 I mean, just the whole thought process, but it's more or less when you see the joke, it's the more frustrated I sound and I am, and I'm talking about the job, the funnier it gets.
How do you keep
And
that frustration fresh then? You know, if you're like,
Yeah,
okay, well, frustration is selling this bit. Every
it
day
is.
you're removed from that decision and that quitting or whatever, like that frustration kind of leaves you. So do you have to like summon the frustration of the day? And meaning like, current day, when you're the day you're telling the joke, do you have to pull frustration from somewhere else, or do you notice that whenever you talk about this, you really do get frustrated?
No. Actually, whenever I talk about it, I really do get frustrated because I actually relive working that job for 17 years
Ooh,
and everything that came out of it. And then, I just have it in joke form, but it um behooves me because every time I do the joke, I find something new in it,
oh,
you
good.
know, be- because I do my best to be as authentic as I can. So my ad libs that come out with it and the audience interaction is always different. So it seems to be fresh to me all the time.
Well, I mean, and I guess like, because I think, from your Instagram, we can easily see from your content, but also the bio that like you're kind of a storytelling comedian. And I guess like I always thought that would be difficult because it's tough to work jokes in there. Like not everybody can do it because they're not confident enough to kind of let that space, if there's a moment in your story that's not a punchline, you
Right.
have to be confident enough to kind of dwell in that silence. But if they really are just laughing at your frustration, you can kind of, put a little space in there and just and find a couple, funny facts or details from that story. Like, oh shit, maybe I should talk about this thing because that really happened. And so I guess as a storyteller, it's really great if it's based on real life because then you remember it. You keep remembering new details about that funny story. Like, so yeah, tell me kind of about storytelling as a comedy discipline. Like,
So
how hard or easy it is for you, and then how hard or easy is it for others that you're seeing on open mics? They really try to be Birbiglia or Mulaney. They're trying these storytelling jokes and they're not working, whereas yours are getting laughs all the time. Like, what do you see as a storytelling comedian?
yeah, well, as as far as that, number one, uh, I had to learn to be okay with silence.
Yes. Gosh. Frightening to most
Um,
people.
yeah, and once I got I guess confident in that space, then I started to own that space. Now I'm silent on purpose.
Because I
So
was saying, what's his name said something like Norm Macdonald. He said like he doesn't like clapter. Like he doesn't like, trying to get applause because he's talks
right.
about it like letting the air out of a balloon. And so if
Mhm.
you keep like the silence and when that balloon finally explodes, it's gonna be great. So why try to get all this little easy, cheap clapter? Like
Right.
kind of building it up with silence. I imagine the payoff's pretty incredible.
Right. I have great payoffs. The way I do my shows and my jokes and stuff, I take you on a emotional ride. Like I take you down and then I bring you up and then I take you back down and then I bring you back up. Once I get you in my rhythm, then it's easy from there.
Yeah, man, and I guess yeah. So emotion is kind of that was kind of surprising to me that you mentioned
Yeah,
emotion because most comedians might not be aware of that being something you can toy with,
right.
something you can kind of play with. And so tell me how you work. I guess with the successful day where you quit to do comedy full time after 17 years at the job. I'm gonna guess frustration is a key emotion. But what about some other, like for example, having the disabled daughter? What's the emotion that you kind of take them up and down with in that one? Is it, um, yeah, what is it? What is the emotion
Oh,
you toy with there?
okay. As far as my disabled daughter, the emotion I toy with is I guess you call it uh dark comedy type stuff. Like I make you feel real bad about the situation, and then 10 seconds later, I have you laughing hard about the situation. Now, for me as an artist, my job is to be able to control your emotions. I want you to be sad and mad at me when it's time, and then I want you to like me and love me when it's time. That's
Ah.
that's when I have the audience, as far as the shows I do, in my hand, and I can do no wrong. So
Yeah, I
it
mean,
took it took a long time to get there. I was
Yeah.
terrible the first 3 or 4 years I did comedy, bombed often, but I kept at it, and now I'm just starting to, and I've been doing it for about 11 years, not 12 years now, but
Okay.
but I'm just starting to now hone in on all of that because I had to remove my ego from it.
Ooh,
And
tell me about
um,
that. Well,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
So did you like tell me how 3, 4 years ago, or whenever you started getting real good, or because you
mhm,
said you were bombing for 3, 4 years. So I mean, it might have been,
yeah.
7 years ago that you started getting great. What did you discover about your ego that made you say, I got to get over this ego thing?
Oh, because I would be like extremely nervous. I would second guess everything. I would want to have like a safety net while I'm up there on stage when all I had to do was just be me.
Yeah.
I
So
don't,
what were the
I,
safety nets you were looking at?
right. As far as if this happened, I'll say this, or like have a comeback for a
Ah,
heckler, or if it's not going right, uh, how would I switch it up, and this, that, and the other. It's like, all that was too much for me
yeah.
mentally.
Yeah, so you were up there with like 4,000 exit strategies or
Right,
tools, therapeutic tools or something. You're like, oh my
right,
gosh, I need to be ready by X, Y, and Z, and then your brain is not in the
right,
moment, and it's afraid of silence too. Like, because
right,
silence is incompatible with ego.
right.
And so, like,
So,
what did you start doing to tell yourself, forget all that shit?
okay, what I started doing was I stopped speeding through my jokes
Oh,
because I was so nervous or what have you that I would say the joke real fast, and I would miss moments in which the audience wanted to enjoy the joke, but I wouldn't let them
uh,
because I kept talking. So now it's like while the audience is laughing, I don't say anything. I let them laugh all the way out, and then
yeah,
I start talking again.
yeah. Because if you punish us for laughing early, we
Right,
hesitate to laugh late. Like
right,
we hesitate to laugh at all. Because
right,
if you kind of like, I don't know, I feel a little bit bad if I'm laughing and somebody, tries to talk over it or something like,
right,
while I'm listening to comedy, because I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, I guess you're gonna let me know when the funny part is, and then I'll try to laugh then. But I feel a little bit stupid, so I don't really like you, comedian, if you're kind of talking through my laughs, right?
right, right. It's called and I had to learn this too. It's called I would be stepping on my own joke.
Ah, that's what that is.
Right,
Okay.
but
And so like you just kind of did it slower. And then during that kind of pause, you could think of some new jokes, right? That's where you write on stage.
uh, new jokes, new direction, um, just more of an audience interaction type thing. Uh, you know, just to keep everything still personal and keep the flow going. So I had to change my flow. I had to change my rhythm, and it changed my energy. And I feel more comfortable. And
Yeah,
the
even
more comfortable I feel, the more comfortable the audience feels.
yeah, because I think like listening to you talk, I think like your cadence isn't super fast. You're not like a Chris Rock, like I'm gonna talk, understand the words coming out of my mouth. Like you're kind of
Right.
just like your cadence is really natural and very comforting, but it's not like speedy comedy. And so they must have like it's nice that your natural rhythm was
Yeah.
slower. And so they probably could just tell. They're like, why is this guy talking so fast? Because it doesn't seem like he's good at it. Like you're very good at talking the speed you talk now. And so like
Mhm.
so I imagine early on they were like, dude, this guy hasn't found his shit yet. So do you see like other comedians on your shows or just like at the open mic where you're like, this guy has not found it yet?
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I have the open mic so that they have a place, a platform, so that they can come and find it.
Yeah.
Like at my open mic, I encourage comics to do more than what they believe they can do, and then if they have to scale it back, scale it back. But just be yourself. It's a journey. It's a journey. Putting that ego to the side and just letting yourself be naked on stage and accepting yourself, whether the
Yeah.
audience accepts you or not.
Yeah, and part
Because
of that being naked is not having those tools and exit strategies all the
exactly,
time, man. Like because then your act is being dictated by fear instead of
yes,
who you actually are. And so they're never gonna laugh at that, right? They could smell
yes,
fear a mile away.
yes, yes. Audiences are like sharks in the water, and if you're bleeding, alive.
And
That's
so like bleeding would be the equivalent, like chumming the waters, like bleeding, putting blood in the water for a comedian
right.
is like what, just like looking nervous pretty much.
Well, yeah. When you say looking nervous, that don't have to be like necessarily in the eyes. Like
Or
a lot of people,
sounding nervous, rushing
right,
through your
right,
shit. Yeah.
you can sound nervous,
Yeah.
or you may have like a crazy tick. Like I had one comic that would take the mic cord and wrap it around their hand
Oh
and
no.
then let it unwrap and fall to the floor while they was doing a comedy, but they just kept doing it. And then after a while, you stop listening to the comedy and you just like, why are you fucking with the
Yeah.
cord? It just looks so awkward that
Yeah.
they would do it like a lasso, like, there was a cowboy or something like that, and then they'll let it drop. But, just those ticks that you wouldn't normally do in a conversation. Like if
Yes.
you're talking to your friends and you're making your friends laugh, you're not going to be rolling your hair or something or have a piece of string in your hand, all that, So, I mean,
Yeah, you just keep doing something repetitive with your phone over
right,
and over again. People can see
right.
it. And so I guess real quick, and this last question, do you see a difference in, I don't know, like, yeah, what's the difference you see between pro comedians doing your open mic to kind of test their new material versus just an open micer? Like, do you notice that you still do see, some more natural rhythms in older comedians, meaning comedians, pro comedians, and
Okay.
and kind of what is the difference you see as far as, I don't know, that they're getting something out of the open mic, that they're actually
Okay.
not, because if you see people slinging jokes that are just all hitting, you're like, what the fuck are you even doing here then? Go to a
Oh,
real
no,
show.
no, 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 no. An open mic is always needed throughout any comic's career.
Yeah.
Uh, the better you get, you just get a better spot to try out your jokes at an open mic. So the better you get, you may be able to just go into the Laugh Factory and try out your new jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now,
Not everybody's
it's
there. Yeah.
right. Right now, you got to go to the local bar or theater or somebody's house to try out your jokes. But that is one thing that every comic needs. I don't care who they are, on what level you need the open mic, because that's where the magic is created
Yeah.
at the open mic. So as far as pro comics, I always see them come in, try some stuff. Sometimes it works, a lot of times it don't, and
Yeah.
then, you'll never see it on TV because they already tried it over here and it didn't work, and they tweaked it, so they threw it away. You get the finished product, and that hour, and it may have taken them 6 or 7 months to make that hour special.
Yeah.
But they go out to open mics constantly to do that, to put that show together.
So you see them actually
So
trying stuff out,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's necessarily hit and miss because it's new. And so, I
yeah.
mean, have you ever seen like just a new comic, slinging jokes and they're all hitting and be like, hey man, why are you wasting your time here? Like, why don't you actually, go on a show with this shit or try new stuff? Like, the purpose of this mic is to try new shit, right? And they could be trying something. They could be trying a new style of delivery. So, meaning everybody can try anything in an open mic, but at some point, if somebody's killing at your open mic consistently, are you like, dude, like, try some new shit then? If you're killing too hard, are you doing it right at an open mic? Shouldn't you be trying C material and just instead of just slinging all your A material?
Oh well, I think as a comic, I think we want all our material to be a material. Like
Yeah,
every joke
eventually.
should be a
Yeah.
closer joke.
Oh yeah.
So
But
even if you got your A material, you can still maybe pull something out of it, but you got to do it, you know, and do your C material and try and make it A material.
yeah.
It's just
So
that's it.
meaning you could be
What the
working
open
on
mic
your
is for. Yeah,
A because you want to stretch out some of the stuff in your A
yeah,
material or something.
yeah.
Well, good. I
Add
mean,
more to it, more tags, something to make it more meaty.
and like the place they're going to do that is at your Laughs in Lakeview, because the biggest question I have, the only thing that you have to tell me that would make me want to do your open mic over every other open mic in the history of time is if there's a real fucking audience. How do you
Oh,
get real people? Like, because I'm not talking about just 15 stand-up comedy newbies on their phones not paying attention to me. Do you have any real audience in there?
Oh yeah, I have real people that come out to Laugh in
Yes.
Lakeview. What I do is I do a number of things. I advertise on Eventbrite, Facebook, and all that with the free tickets and things of that nature. But my room is is a room about comedy, but it's about joke development, and that's one of the main things I push in my room is about joke development. My show is an audience interactive show, so I have these like bells around the room. So if a comic's not doing good, if their joke doesn't land, the audience hits the bell one time. And that
Yeah.
keeps them involved and it gives the comic time to readjust, but it makes everybody constantly involved in the show. It's like it's our show.
Oh, that's great. And so that's how
And
you
then I
get the
do
real.
book, and then I do book one comic every week, a different comic to do like an actual stand-up
Oh, good.
show so that people can see how comedy's supposed to be done.
Oh, good. And so if I show up, not only can I ring as a real person, I can show up, I can ring the bell if I don't like somebody. So I feel cool about that. But also I know that I'm going to see some comedy. Is it free for me if I'm just a normal person?
It's free for everybody.
Oh, see, well, I mean, that's already it. Because like not only is there you know, from the comedian's perspective, they want a real audience.
Yeah,
Okay. And from the real audience's perspective, we want to
they want
make
real
sure
comedy.
that we can ring our bell and also have a experienced comedy on there doing their best. Meaning, I also, you know, not I want to see some newbies, but I also want to see, you know, a comic for that night. And to tell me that that's free, that's just fucking amazing.
Oh,
Is that Shakers on Clark or no? Where's
yeah, that's
your okay?
yep.
Because I'm
Shakers on Clark, 3162 North Clark Street, and you will see comedy there every Monday because I am the host.
Yeah, because I do like yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now from just a few days ago, I think, and I'm seeing a lot of fucking people there, and I'm seeing some normal, you know, some average, you know, non-comedians too. So that's what I want to hear. Okay, so we
Yeah,
follow him everywhere, Darrick J Comedy on Instagram. That'll take you to the Derrick Jones link tree, but on Twitter it's Derrick 913. So Darrick J, thank you so much for coming on.
man, thank you, Koppen. Have a good one, bro.